of a window into the type of personality you're dealing with, Janie McKenzie. You know, I did notice something, and I thought we'd start off with that, by the way. A couple things. Whatever happened to Jack and Lily, and we're talking under the presumption of a death here, okay? There's 2 children. And there comes a certain point in time on that property with 3 adults that when they come out and push the same story, the same false story, that they become an accessory after the fact to whatever it is maybe Daniel did. But it's going to be very easy to prove, hopefully, knock on wood. It should be, I should say, correct myself, because I'm not in the position of the RCMP. I'm being very careful with my words. Let me just do this before I continue. And I'll read you the definition of it, of really what the Crown has to prove in order to get a successful conviction with an accessory after the fact. In Canada, being an accessory after the fact to red rum is a specific indictable offense under Section 240 of the Criminal Code, RSC 1985, circa C46, which states, everyone who is an accessory after the fact to red rum is guilty of an indictable offense and liable to imprisonment for life. The definition of accessory after the fact comes from Section 23, Subrule 1 of the Criminal Code, which states, an accessory after the fact to an offense is one who, knowing that a person has been a party to the offense, receives, comforts, or assists that person for the purposes of enabling that person to escape. To convict somebody of an accessory after the fact to the red rum, the Crown, who's the prosecutor, must prove all of the following elements beyond a reasonable doubt based on the criminal code, case law, and standard jury instructions, such as those in Watt's Manual of Criminal Jury Instructions. Are you quoting Watts, my good man? The principal offender committed red rum. The Crown must prove that someone, we'll call the principal, actually committed the red rum, and in some interpretations, an included offense like manslaughter, though the charge specifies red rum. This requires establishing the elements of red rum itself, causing death unlawfully with intent to unalive or cause bodily harm, knowing it was likely to cause death. And I was paraphrasing on the run there. I'm keeping it advertiser friendly. Princess, thank you very much, darling. That's very generous of you. Love you, AB. I appreciate that. It's very generous of you. Welcome in, my friends. Just getting some things straight. Just so, because I think there's a lot of confusion about why people are looking at particular individuals and they don't have a good grasp on what exactly a person would be guilty of. There's many different things that are going to put you in prison for life being on that property. And it's not just the act. It's what happened after and after that in order to cover up. Let me reiterate, life in prison. And we're talking about the principal offender. We're talking about what the Crown in this situation has to prove. The details. Number 2, the accused knew that the principal had committed red rum. The accused must have had subjective knowledge, actual awareness that the person they assisted had been a party to the red rum. For example, committed it or was otherwise involved as a principal or secondary party. More suspicion or negligence is not enough. Knowledge must be proven. 3. The accused received, comforted, or assisted the principal, and this is the actus reus, the guilty act. The assistance can include actions like hiding the principal, providing false information to police, ding 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 ding, providing false information to police, let me see. Providing false information to police.
What?
Yeah. Exactly. Concealing evidence, giving shelter, money or transportation, or any other form of help. How about letting him live on Gairloch Road? The act must actually enable or facilitate escape, though it does not need to succeed. And finally, the assistance was provided for the purposes of enabling the principal to escape. This is the key means rea, guilty mind, requirement. The accused must have intended or had the ulterior purpose, desire to help the principal avoid arrest, trial, or punishment. It is not enough that the assistance had the effect of helping escape. The Crown must prove the accused's specific intent was to aid in the escape. Hello, is that Robin? Thank you very much. That's very generous of you. Let me see if I can read that. You're wishing me a fabulous day. Thank you very much. A day for tomorrow. Thank you, darling. I'll be here tomorrow, too. I appreciate it very much, Robin. Much love. And best wishes. That's so nice of you. I'm very proud of myself for saying no to dropping like $100 and some odd bucks on like Takeout. You know, I feel good about that right now. What does that say about myself, I wonder? That it doesn't take much? That I'm pretty simple? Yeah, I really feel good about that. Maybe I should get out more. I should exercise a little bit more. If I can will myself to do that, what else can I will myself to do? That's like being in control of your addictions. Isn't that something? That's what feels good, Daniel. That is the type of feeling that you can't get from a pill, boy. That you can't get snorting something up your nose. The power and the reward that you get simply for being able to control yourself, not just pretend to for the sake of entrapping women over the internet, Facebook dating website. Yeah, snooze, you lose. You're listening. Yeah, fast food can get you. I don't know why I was doing it. Because I know there's always something. I mean, if I'm that desperate, I'll just go over to the grocery store, get something I need, and then I'll stop in, and that'll give me an excuse to pick up a slice of pizza, right? And at least that's like a half a pizza, for crying out, like 2 large slices on a walk-in. For if I get 4 slices, I give them like $12 with a tip, a $2 tip, right? And they seem to like me just fine. Nothing wrong with that. But I get lazy like that. That's my junk food. I know that's too much, but it's not the worst thing in the world. But I didn't want to spend over $100. I mean, holy fuck. I don't like that business model. I don't like the business model that Uber Eats, that Uber anything business model. But what do? Who the fuck am I? I mean, it seems rather forced. And I mean, it forces you in the moment to spend more money. And all of this advertising for electronic lottery games. I mean, these things are programmed to take your fucking money. What sort of idiot are you? And in the government, especially here in Ontario, I get it a lot on YouTube where it never stops pumping these ads for different casinos. I mean, what in the fuck is wrong? That is horrible. It's crazy. Other so often there, it was already escalating. It wasn't getting any better around the house. It was getting worse. Their relationship was getting progressively more toxic as time went on, to the point where, listen, you just referred to Daniel as your partner in front of the camera. Your partner. That stands out in this situation. How should I address you, Master? Daniel probably made you call him that. Helicopter Grandma, I know those videos word for word. They make me sick and I just can't keep listening to all of this bullshit. Well, this is very important because it's like the first press of olive oil, okay? It's undiluted as much as it infuriates us. It's important to hear how she initially reacted to the situation. Touch base is like touching grass. MZ Queen, you say, see, but then he said their room was at the very end of the house. So were they in their bedroom beside them or the living room? She said the room beside us. Well, I think it's probably a 3-bedroom trailer in that sense, right? 3 bedrooms and a bathroom. They're not very big to begin with. You can hear everything at all points in the trailer, I would think. Oh, Anastasia Yannick, thank you very much for your donation. That's very generous. I appreciate that. Miss Queens, Daniel explained that the bedroom was beside their room. The living room was all the way the other end. Yeah, where the living room is where the wood stove is, right? Was all the way the other end. She may have heard them, but not literally in the next room. Well, I see what you're saying. Like, that's 2 different directions, 2 different sounds. Good observation, I'll say. She's inconsistent in that sense. It's not consistent. But you still need more information as an officer. You know something's up, right? Her story just isn't jiving. It doesn't smell right. Really, she comes across as having no real commitment to anything other than the kids being in the bush at that point in time. And it's a subtle way of suggesting to you, the audience, that it was them themselves that emphasized, insinuated that the kids went into the bush because they had done everything else of their own volition, on their own accord, unaccompanied. So, which is it? At some point, things are going to come back and contradict themselves because you're going to have to flip. And that it's that flip that would suggest that and make you as an investigator come back and re-look at certain things that happened in the beginning. They would stand out to you a lot more clearly, especially when it comes to behaviors and reasons and patterns. Robin, that's a good question. I think Belinda Gray asked that as well. I put that on my community page. That was sourced from Malaya said it herself. Your question is, why were we told the kids' bedroom had some sort of divider? Belinda said they had bunk beds. I don't have the answer to that, but it came from within the paperwork. Malaya suggested that in how she was describing when she was talking about Jack and Lily being excited before bed on that Thursday. Yeah, Quiz. She also sounds devoid of emotion. It's rehearsed in that sense. She's got to calm herself, get through this in an awkward manner. She's very awkward in front of the camera. She doesn't. It's not the truth. It's not coming across. People who get in front of the camera know exactly why they're there. She doesn't have a clue as to why she's there. That's the problem. a problem, not the only one.
No, and we get up instantly. We're looking outside, we're looking everywhere, yelling for them, and I instantly just call 911. I just had the instinct I needed to call. They're both really go-lucky children. They're so sweet. They talk to anyone. They'll talk your ear off.
See, it sounds rehearsed in line because we've seen everything now at this point in time, and you can cross-reference, and maybe you're coming to learn it as you see the clips. But she sounds exactly like Daniel. Remember when Daniel was trying to tell the cameras that the kids are just out looking for a good time? You know, you offer them some food or water and they'll go with you. You know, it sounds awfully rehearsed, especially what it is that they're saying in front of a camera. Rehearsed in this situation is not a good thing. It lacks reality. It lacks information and context. And you're relying overly on word salad and one-liners to act as the truth rather than add any sort of contextual value to it or reasoning or rationale as to why you think a certain way. And I learned another new one today. What is that new term I learned today? Janie. I learned a new term today, honey. No, I didn't learn it because I can't remember it. That's because I'm smoking the stickiest of the icky. I can't remember it now. You're lucky. I guess I didn't learn it. I'll have to do the same bit again tomorrow. I'll have to go relearn it tomorrow now so I can do that again tomorrow. What was it about? I forgot. I got distracted. Anyway, what a fucking asshole. I'll have to do that bit tomorrow. I'll try it again tomorrow. Sometimes it doesn't work out, guys.
They will speak to anyone in a store. Everyone. They're just extremely sweet kids. I appreciate the huge search effort going on right now. But we've been pushing for an Amber Alert, which hasn't been issued. Not just that they could possibly be abducted, which it is a possibility that they could have been, but just an alert to let.
That was just as red flaggy to me as the first part of this statement. Did you see the inflection in her voice when she talks about and suggesting the fact that the kids could have possibly been abducted? Nothing says she's got no fucking clue. Okay? As in, no reason to be getting in front of a camera. What is it you're actually trying to communicate, Malaya? Seemed that you're overly content to add something to the statement in that sense, as though it meant really nothing to you as a human being. Okay? You're adding more possibilities at that point in time rather than the reason as to why you called the RCMP there to begin with. Remember, you lied to the RCMP in your call to them. Can you believe this? Ginger's mom, that's so generous. Thank you. Happy birthday tomorrow. Oh, 3 hours. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Ginger's mom. That means a lot. Thank you, guys. You're very generous, by the way. There's no need, my friends. Like, it really bothered me when looking back on it, there's no question that there's something going on here. When the kid's mother is sitting in front of a camera, and this is beyond balming up on a comedy set. This is overly awkward, and you're bringing in scenarios as though you're actually looking for answers and you think that's okay. You are trying to pretend to be just another person out here when you are acting anything like their mom, or even that you're related or had just seen them moments ago. You're unaffected in that way. Not that you need to go crying in front of the camera. That's not what people are saying. Your emotion should drive your statements, your expressions of the truth at that point in time. You need to be interested in that particular truth, and nobody is. None of them. None of them are wanting to acknowledge the truth of the situation, the reality of a situation. Those literal words.